Good morning, Spirit Session fans. Good morning, all our viewers here and on the replay. Today, we'd like to dedicate this show to a very special Light Tribe member from the beginning, Cindy Aldridge, who's passed on, transitioned into Starlight and into Spirit. And we just want to acknowledge her wonderful spirit here on earth. She made us laugh. She showed us beautiful pictures of nature. She had these funny memes. She would always come and comment. She was a great support. And we give out our sympathies for your loss to her family and her friends and everybody here. We just send out our love and prayers to you all. Thank you for joining us. And Teresa, you have a very special guest, somebody of another family that we've just met recently and just really, really like and wanted to share her with you.
Yes, we got the message from Emily Harrison, our teacher, whom we love immensely. Whenever you hear from her, it's just a bright light of sunshine or something, a big comet across the sky. It's always exciting when you hear from her. And then she's talking about this newly graduated student of hers, or about to graduate. I'm not sure what part, but she was just like, oh man, she is so good. And you guys have got to do a session with her. You've got to. Can you do this? So we each took our turn and we've each had an amazing session. And so what's cool about our dear friend Kel here, well, besides so many things, I mean, but what I find really cool is that it's all of your modalities that you do. And man, you have a big old medicine bag full of things that you do, but they all come together through the Akashic records. And how has that changed? All the things you used to do to now that you do it with the Akashic records. What's that shift been like?
It's giving me chills, actually. But first, let me say thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your show. I am so excited to be here. And as we were opening up, I could feel Cindy coming, and she's sending her love and her blessings. And as we know, that whenever someone transitions to the other side, they still touch our lives in such numerous ways. So I wanted to bring that through. When it comes to the Akashic records, how can I put it? Let me say that when we're viewing things, it was like the final piece of the puzzle. It was like how my journey had led me to all these different modalities, whether it be healing, coaching, channeling, and learning about different things. And then it was like with the Akashic records, which called me 6 years ago. I kept it on my radar, but finally took the plunge and said yes. And it was like it brought, like I said, it brought everything together. And the interesting thing is, because I've done Akashic for myself, but I haven't I just saw a message. So welcome, who is here and on the replay.
It's Juju Divine from the Breakthrough Network, and she's been supporting us from YouTube for quite a while now. So thank you, Juju.
Oh, that's awesome. So when I went to go read the records for other people, and that's when I was introduced to the three of you lovely ladies, was the first reading I did for my son. And it's interesting how the person's life, but when you can go into their past life. And what I was shown was 3 different lifetimes, how it converged and made a heart. The ones that he learned in those 2 lifetimes was converging into this.
Oh.
And it was so interesting because as a healer, I'm very empathic and get emotional. I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, but I was able to step back and look at it as if I was watching a movie or a story, if that makes sense. And really see how it interplayed and take my emotion of being mama out of it and just being able to bring through beautiful messages. So He understood. And then when I met the three of you, it was interesting because it was like, because you do the Akashic records, and it was like, let me see. Okay, the image my guides are giving me, it was like Pleiades coming in. It was like
Oh,
all of us that are like Emily's students are
yeah,
part of the star system, and we just
yeah,
converged. And so I was quite excited. Mhm.
yeah. That really is exciting, isn't it? When we get to meet our real families. I mean, and probably not just our spiritual families, our star families right here. Here we are gathering again, you know. Isn't that the funnest thing about it all?
It is the funniest thing. And it's like we get to what's the word I'm looking for? Because I'm getting it as a feeling, but it's like almost like when you know somebody your whole life, but you meet them for the first time. Well, it's because we've had past lives together or know one another from, different star systems.
Yeah, it's a real familiarity, isn't it? It's like
It's
I
like
know your
home.
energy. You're not a stranger. You're like it's not all like I know who you are, and I can be me in front of you and not worry. I don't have to put
Exactly.
on any masks or anything. I just can come and be.
Exactly. Exactly. So well put.
So, what was your journey like in the beginning anyway? Were you always aware of who you are and the things you can do, or did you gradually pick them up as you go along?
As a child, I was aware of what I could do, like healing through my hands, people coming to me and confiding into me, and being able to see angels and spirit. I knew I had a spirit team. I knew there was a higher intelligence who I call God, or the creator of all universe, you know. Um, and then really it was when I was 12 when I had found out my mom had cancer, and she taught me meditation. I would do meditation with her, and I understood then the power of being a co-creator and the power of our words and how we could reframe what we were thinking. But I didn't understand a lot of it being 12. And then I went to be a nurse, and I enjoyed that thoroughly. I got messages one evening of a gentleman, and there was nothing to suggest, but my guide said it was an afternoon shift. Watch him, Kelly, very closely. And I said, okay, what's going on? And they said he had an abdominal aneurysm. So I went, looked on the chart. There was nothing there on the chart to suggest that. So I asked the head nurse, are they investigating anything? Blah, blah, blah. So I told her my worries about, I think he's going to decline. Anyway, speed up till around 9:30 at night. In those days, they had just started with portable ultrasounds. So the neurologist came up. I worked on a neurology floor, and he investigated, did an ultrasound, and saw indeed this man did have an abdominal aneurysm. But the
Wow.
thing that really turned it on for me was listening to the guides, being able to trust in myself was huge, and having that empowerment of being able to speak up, like being advocate for people. And the other blessing in that was he knew that he was dying, but I was able to hold his hand and tell him he was not there, and I could feel his angels and others around. So that was a huge thing. And then my journey took me to therapeutic touch, and my my teachers were two nurses as well, and I had just moved to a new community. I didn't know anybody, but it was like when you get like a pull in your heart, let's say, or something you want to move towards, and you act upon it, then things, they kind of flow, and then you have a greater understanding. So I went there, and I had this beautiful experience in my level 1, and I told my teachers, and they said, you're already at level 3. I'm like, how can I? Like, I don't understand that. But then I took level 2 and 3 with them, and then I understood what they were talking about. I'm like, okay, I understand now how, because of the messages and what I was able to see in the body. And then I moved to another area, and I think maybe that's key, moving to a new area and exploring things and getting to meet new people. And I got an intuitive hit, take Reiki, because I couldn't find a community here for therapeutic touch. So I went online and they said, you'll find somebody that's online in your area. So I looked, Googled Reiki Bradford, and I found my amazing teacher. See, she was such a beautiful person.
I love how you use Google like I do. It's like you use it like an oracle card. Okay. Find it. Yeah, here, I'll just Google that.
Exactly. I think the internet is a blessing in a lot of ways, like how we can connect today and finding things and, finding our community. So I'm grateful for that. So I went to go see her and I explained to her I had been certified in therapeutic touch and that I was be interested in taking Reiki. And she said, okay, can you come? There was supposed to be 2 of us. And I gave her a message of why there was only the one. That I was the only one. It made it more open, more intimate. And so at the end of that, she says, Kelly, she says, normally I tell people to wait 30 days, but you're going to do it on me right now. You're going to do Reiki on me. And I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like, I felt like I was in therapeutic touch, like put on the spot. And it's like, okay, I will try. So therapeutic touch, for those who don't know, it's different in the way how you do things. And so I did her, but I felt like I had to go over to a side and then come back. And I told her I did it wrong. I didn't follow and she goes, no, you did it perfectly. You felt where I needed the energy to clear. She says, you're already at a higher level. Just go with what you're thinking. And so yeah, I did that. And then I took Anahata codes because when I during sessions, I was seeing people's numbers and people's auras. So I investigated that. And then I did angel alchemy, which I just love because really it was my way of saying, okay, I have to step further out. I have to be a force with people. But it was just a calling from within my heart again. And so I did that, and it was such a beautiful journey, and that helped me to step further out and learn how to work on the internet and do live, sessions over Zoom and Messenger.
Reiki is pretty mainstream now, but angel alchemy is just like one step further, even though you've been seeing them all your life, to come out of that box.
Yes, out of the closet, more
Out
or
of
less.
the closet, out of the angel closet.
Out of the angel closet, spiritual closet, like I'm letting my woo-woo come more further out. and being comfortable with that, because when I was younger, people would frown upon, wow, they're crazy. You were labeled as crazy back then.
Or here now, sometimes.
I'm more comfortable with it. I'm like, okay, if I'm crazy and that weird, well, I'll wear that hat because that's who I am. That's what I enjoy. So yeah, so then I did the angel alchemy. I learned how to manifest because I wanted to go on a retreat and I had to ask for a once in a lifetime. And I told my angels, angels, if you want this to happen, then you got to push it through. Well, I got a message saying, contact the board because there's a problem. And I'm like, why? Sometimes it's not argue, but it's more like bantering for clarification. I'm like, why? I put it through. I don't understand. And they're like, something happened. So I emailed the board and they said that my request had been put under papers and she wouldn't have seen it. Thanks for emailing her. So then I from that I said, okay, so angels, I want my airplane ticket to be a certain amount because it's in the US, then I'm Canadian. And it did. I came down the stairs and my husband said, I don't know what you did, but it's the price that you wanted. And it's nonstop. And I'm like, yay.
So your husband's on board with this, is he now?
Yes,
He's sort of...
he is. Yes.
Oh, that makes it easy, right?
Yeah, it does make it easier. And so then from that, I've taken some courses from Kyle and Radley. And then the Akashic records came back around, like Emily was coming more into my consciousness in that. And then I felt that draw and I'm like, okay, now's the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, she did that to all of us, I swear. Because the same thing, like the Akashic records had shown up in my, like I was thinking about it and it started popping up and I was like, oh, that would be cool. And then it disappeared for a little while. And then boom, Emily's just showing up over and over and over again, talking about it. And I'm just like, okay, sign me up.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was always like in the background because I didn't even understand the Akashic records. Or I still don't totally understand them, but at least I have a better handle on them and what they are. But in Reiki, like the Honshisei Shonin, that symbol directly connects us to it,
Yeah.
and it never like, oh, that's why I have that. Okay, now I understand. It was like a light bulb turned on. I would never have turned on if I hadn't taken the class either. So, but it's just like it gives you more tools in your toolkit, right?
Exactly. I totally understand what you mean because with doing Reiki, again, it must be part of my logical brain and then part of my like spiritual and how do I meld them together in this lifetime? And so when I was doing Reiki, I was doing mediumship. I had different guides come. Could see them in a past life. And I'm like, what is this about? And again, like you're saying, understanding that we're tapping into the higher realms and the Akash as well.
Yeah, it's so sweet. I mean, it's just like another cord in the braid is what I like to think of. So it's just like, okay, yeah, now we're stronger. So it's awesome. So what have you been doing, and what do you see yourself going to like? How are you going to put this on the ground and run with it now?
It's interesting because when I started, about 6 months ago, maybe a little bit more, it's hard because you're like, how do I tell people what I do? And first I understood that everything is energy, that people are drawn to us by our energy too, as well as what I put out that I'm going to do, understanding that I'm being that light for people, just like Emily was for us, right? Yeah. And so with that, my guide said, do an integrated session. So in an integrated session, I'll do healing, I'll do theta, I'll do anahata codes. It's whatever's led by spirit, whatever's needed in that moment. And really that is the biggest thing that's led to me is trusting spirit. It's and knowing that they always have my back. Because when I first did when I put mediumship out there on my website, I'm like, I don't know. And then a longtime client of mine, she says, Kelly, my dog just passed away. And I know we did a session just 2 weeks ago. What do you think about doing another one? I said, it's completely up to you. Like, you know what you need and what you want. And she says, okay, can we do one this week? And I said, sure. Well, when you ask, spirit speaks loudly because I brought her dog through for a whole hour. And I'm like, this is so cool. I've never done this before. So it's kind of like surprised me all the time about what comes through, what comes in, what needs to be accessed. And it's also what I understand fuller now is whatever the client or the person that you're speaking to resonates with, understands, maybe needs to come into their awareness. And then I just designed a course last year too, because my tagline is freedom through empowerment, through my own learning about myself, awakening fully to my gifts, trusting, taking that inspired action. Then I designed a course, and it was interesting because as I was getting ready, I had it here. So it's designed on fear. How do we move past fear? And the way my guide showed me was they flipped it, the words, so that it was like RAEF first, where it's we reawaken, we align, we have that empowerment, and then we get our freedom. And so I designed a course on that, and I did a pilot on it. And one of my students, she was going through a divorce, and she says, I cannot tell you how much that has changed my life and my son's life as well. And it just gets me emotional and when I think about it, because that's what I want to do. I want to do, like, I've the other thing that I've done is I also teach Reiki as well. And again, it's how spirit helps us to expand when we're ready. So I had a client at the beginning of the pandemic from the States, and she's, Kelly, my friend says that you teach Reiki. And I said, yes, I do. And it says, I always do it in person. She goes, well, what do you think about doing it over Zoom? And I'm like, well, if spirit's bringing it to me, then obviously we'll have to take a look at it. And I'm actually wearing one of her pieces of
Oh,
jewelry.
really?
Oh,
So
beautiful.
Wow.
she said
Beautiful.
it helped her to spur on and do the things that she loves, and infuses Reiki into that. So that's what I'm going towards as well. So
Yeah, that's another coincidence. Like through the pandemic, I decided, okay, we'll try, because these two decided to be my betas, and Emily. So we did Reiki online for the first time, but through our Akashic records, because I felt more empowered to do it through their records, and then it was like an in-person attunement, only even deeper. I thought, but they
Well,
took.
and I had experience with the in-person attunements years ago when I was 18, and I decided to do a refresher with Rhonda, and it was more powerful
Wow.
the way that she did it through the Akashic records than it was 18 years ago. There was more of a connection. There was more of a deeper understanding. It felt more soulful.
Yeah,
yes,
and
I'm getting chills with that.
you have such a deep connection with people. You have I had the fear, but you have a deeper, like you're open to everything. So you would have such a great connection with people. But yeah, just doing that online was such a great thing. And then, awesome. I'm glad you decided to join it too. Some associations frown on that. I'm not part of those
That's still
associations.
control, though. We just
I'm not part of those associations anymore, so I'm a part of the International Reiki Association. I think it's important to have sort of a regulating body so you can keep to the ethics, so people know that you have those ethics. So
Yes.
I don't know, otherwise they don't. Oh, hi, Debbie. Debbie's from the UK, isn't she? Yes.
She is. Hi,
And
Debbie.
you know Debbie too?
I
Yeah.
do.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, Debbie's been with us from the beginning too, like Nancy.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes, we do.
Claudio. Claudio, so
Oh,
much
hi,
easier to speak.
Claudia.
Oh, you know Claudio. How great that is.
Join.
Oh, that's awesome. And
Welcome.
Ava
Yes,
from
it
Woodstock.
is. Yes, it is, Claudio. Definitely.
So, where are you based, and how can people? Or are you going to do a little demo today? You were talking about that.
I am doing a little
Yeah.
demo if you would like.
We'd love that.
We were talking about this earlier.
Oh,
Wow.
I love that so much.
ah.
Wow.
And my crystal skull.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I love your
beautiful.
crystal.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
that's such love.
I have many crystals. Like I have some behind me on this side, but he was the one who wanted it. I have my obsidian too for grounding, and I have my flower of life. So okay. Okay, so I'll just ask everybody to take a breath and just sink into this beautiful moment. And just take another breath to clear. And just feel how you have your heart open. Your heart expands because we come out of our intellect and come into our heart. And now I want you to think of one person, place, thing, or animal that you love, and just bring that into your heart space. And again, see, sense, or imagine how your energy has just changed, how it's shifted, and where it has shifted for you. And it's interesting, as I'm doing this, I'm seeing our chakras aligning and expanding. And then my medicine had to come in, like the medicine man with his arms out and his feet out, and how our toroidal energy on our central column is just lighting up. And I opened up the cache before I came in. And the question that I asked was, and I'm presenting right now, what does the collective consciousness of spiritual sessions community need to know in this moment? And as I'm saying this, I'm seeing like a rose or a peony just opening up and expanding from the heart space and the messages that are coming through, because there's an angel that guides this community. And the message as she's coming through, I have Metatron coming through as well as Jophiel, and Mother Mary is coming too. And the message that I'm channeling right now is saying, dear ones, know that you are so loved. Know that you are changing and expanding. Know with that your gifts are unfolding more clearly as you are so needed in the now. Amongst the chaos. Interesting, the chaos, because I see all this swirling around. Amongst this chaos, there is structure. Know that we are leading you to a newer way of being, a newer way of shining your light, a newer way of expressing who you are in the world. Gabriel's here and says, speak your truth and sing it joyfully and be all of who you are, because we are all parts of the universe. We are all stardust, and we came here to shine. So with that, in closing, there's an affirmation that they want me to bring through. I am who I am with love and joy, and express that with joy as well. And I'm just attuning and aligning. What they're asking is if you could put both hands on your heart. Take another breath. Breathe in the love. Open your arms at your sides. And be who you are, beloveds. And smile.
Oh, that felt nice.
So
That was
sweet.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was getting a third eye massage while you were talking. I really enjoyed that. That felt nice.
You're so glad, because I'm like, really, you're showing me all of them? And they're like, yes, the reason for that is because all of us have different needs right now, but it's all within our central column, and just opening that up.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, sweet. That was lovely. Thank you. And Metatron does come in quite often.
Yeah.
We called on him
kinda
a
hang out
lot
with
at
him a
the
lot.
beginning. A lot.
Yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
always have technical issues.
Wait, behind me. That's
Oh,
my
yeah. Oh, lovely. We called on him a lot at the beginning.
too.
It was great. It was great. So, no, that's sweet. Thank you.
Yes.
It's really cool. Sherry Merritt saying, awesome. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Oh, and yeah, the funny thing, that just reminded me when Nancy said, the tattoo on Emily's shoulder is a peony. But when I was arranging music for the beginning of the brand at the very beginning there, I thought, oh, there's some songs I was going through, and rose petals
Oh.
came through. So that's what the name of the song was. So I thought,
That's
Really?
awesome.
oh, that gave
How
me
neat
kind of
is
the
that?
chills. Yeah. I went back, no, it's got to be rose petals. Okay.
I love that. Like the universe, as you know, the universe sends all of us messages through different ways. A lot of mine are through spirit animal. Crow is a big one of mine, as well as deer. Crystals as well. But one of them is roses for me, and the rose petals, and what it is to love. And part of that is it's so hard to put into words that express my feeling, but what it is that it just opens up my heart to unconditional love, accepting the person for who they are and their journey, and the courage it is to live their journey. And as I give, I'm able to receive as well. But with giving a rose, if you I love the scent of roses as well.
Mhm.
So when you give a rose, part of that imprint and that scent stays on your hand as well. So it's part of the bridge between giving and receiving as well.
Oh, that's so sweet.
I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
that.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I'm hoping my roses bloom. Yeah. Oh, it's very nice. I love peonies too, I have to say. They're one of my favorites. They're all blooming around my house, probably at yours too right now. Um,
Yes.
we're again, we have another Canadian on here. Just wanted to say that. And this one doesn't live that far away, only about 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Yes.
Oh,
You go number 7 because I won't go on the 401 because it's just like bad karma for me on the 401. I don't know. Number 7. Yeah, it's not that far.
Yes.
I've been to Bradford. Sherry says hers is a rose also.
Right.
Aw.
I like
Uh,
Lisa's question because I think that
yeah.
when we were talking with you, Kelly, on Tuesday, that's actually came up during our conversation. And she says, how do we know what our journey is? I think you actually talked about that during our conversation. How
It,
perfect is that?
exactly. It's like all the timelines just converging.
Mhm.
She got my Canadian accent. Yes.
We don't have an accent.
Right.
To answer that, when I was little, it always seemed like it was something that was out there, like a journey that you had to go to. And what came to me so clearly is just it's all about love. It's about how we love ourselves, how we're able to bring our expression of our soul out to the world, how we want to be of service. It's being present. It's about being present, the other person being heard and validated and seen for who they are, and all of themselves as well, like all parts of themselves. Yeah, that's the simple answer. And really, what it is it's inside of us. That's what those soul nudgings are about. That give us inspiration, give us pause to look. Oh, should I look at this a little more closer? So. And luckily, with doing that, I was able to meet this beautiful community.
Oh, so sweet. I feel a
Exactly.
regular coming on. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have to have you back so much more
Yes.
often. Yeah, I really do. So in all those questions, what you offer integrated services. Where do you offer them, and how do you offer them? And do you have any other courses coming up?
Uh, I have a whole host of ideas. It's just a matter of like bringing them down here. But
Yes.
I'm actually being more structured in that because I'm kind of like what you would call like a balloon up here. Tether down, tether down. Oh, I'm sorry for the loss of your husband.
It's sort of hard to change your direction after that. I know.
And so you can find me on Facebook. I have my website as well. The courses that I'm is gonna adapt a little bit of the one that I did when it has to do like stepping past blocks. But what Spirit has been showing me too is about different tools that we can use and how to use them. So like oracle cards, crystals, like those type of things. So yes.
No, it's great. So those would, and you have energetic sessions where you do a little bit of mediumship or healing online with people
Yes,
because
I do it on Zoom or on Messenger. Um, I used to do it in person, but with the pandemic, I've just been doing everything over Zoom. Yes.
yeah, it's the same energy. It's just kind of remarkable. Like people say, "How do you do that?" And I said, "How do you
Yeah.
send a fax?" Explain that because I still don't understand how people get faxes. So I put the numbers in and they come out on the other end. And it's just
It's true. And it's the same thing. Like this is my healing treatment room. And so I put in the same energy and the same intention into it as well and creating sacred space. So yes.
and it sometimes focuses everything because it's just you and there. You're not in other sensory ways. So yeah,
Exactly.
kind of cool that way. We did put all of Kelly's contacts in the information in this video or in the podcast or on the Breakthrough Show Network got blurb too. So just wanted to let you know. And we're also on veryparanormal.com in the UK. So you can catch this show just about anywhere now. And you can listen to that beautiful meditation on the podcast while you're, sleeping or going to sleep. So you can just put it on and listen. Don't do it in the car because it's probably not a good idea.
I used to watch Rescue Mediums all the time.
Yeah.
I know, and so did I.
Late, I was so excited when I saw her on your show. Like,
Yeah.
And I used to be able to talk
Allison on too.
some of the stuff too. So I was so excited to be part of that collective as well.
Yeah, and she always kind of went in your area and up in that area. It was like she was always north of Toronto and sort of that area. So she'd seldom come down my area, but trying to get her to come and visit down here to all the pretty places
That
we
would
have.
be awesome.
Wouldn't it be cool? Up in Bradford, you'll have to scout out some places like the theaters and stuff. But yeah, so that's so wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to leave with our listeners and our viewers today? So anything else? And then I'll hand it over to Bex because she has her questions.
Again, there is a lot of people that that are here from the spirit realm as well, that I can feel that are coming to loved ones today, whether it be husband, wife, aunt, or uncle, and they're just sending their love. And it's so beautiful. They're just saying that love is what ties all of us, and it's tangible because you can still feel it as well. And just know that they're looking over you and guiding you and sending you love. And as I'm saying that, I'm seeing all different color of roses being passed from the other side to people in the audience, whether here now or on the replay. And they wanted me to pull a card.
Yay.
And it was interesting because they said to use Kyle Gray's cards prayers. And the one thing that I asked for today is, Jophiel, let me see the beauty in the world. Now, you can't make this stuff up. Who came today?
Oh,
I love that. That's perfect.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
And when I asked her too, what color would you want me to wear today? She told me to wear this dress.
Oh, yay.
What are the colors
That makes sense. Look at that.
So now you coordinate.
Yeah. I'm coordinating with the angels.
I have Jophiel do my makeup. I'm just saying. I just hand it over and say,
I remember that.
my makeup.
Wow. And so I was saying, thank you, Jophiel, for helping me discover my inner outer beauty. And so I have to say that thank you to her personally, but also, again, us as a collective community here, because we are beautiful. Just sometimes we don't, her message she told me earlier is sometimes we don't see our own beauty, but it is there. It's just often it gets muddled from limiting beliefs, which is another big thing that I'm huge on trying to clear as well in people, and just seeing who we truly are and not what was impressed on us.
So Bex has some questions for you too.
Yes.
Are you ready, Kelly?
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. The first question is, if you had to choose a song to be the theme song of your life just for right now, what would that be?
I have to go with, which surprised me, but it's coming into my head. Here comes the sun.
Oh,
yeah.
It's interesting because I think in the beginning, wasn't there something that was talking about the sun in the branding?
Oh, I think the Breakthrough Show. I don't know.
Yeah. And then it's showing me the sun above.
Oh, yeah, the sun that was glowing in your picture. Yeah.
And then the message that they're giving me with that, yesterday I was out doing errands. And so I don't often treat myself at Starbucks, but I did. I wanted a chai latte. And it was pouring rain. I don't know. Lately, whenever I go out to do errands, it's always raining. And I stopped, and she had done my order incorrectly. And I'm like, this is a coffee. This isn't a tea. Are you sure I have the right one? And so she looked, and the girl came over, another girl, and said, oh, no, this is what she's supposed to have. And she goes, I'm really sorry. And I said, no problem. I said, things happen. You know, you're working, you have a lot of cars behind me. And she goes, look at that. She goes, you brought the sun.
Oh, wow.
The sun warms us, rejuvenates us, but it's also our inner sun that we allow out too.
Wow, sweet.
Yes, I love that.
And
All
how
right,
was
so,
it?
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, Starbucks. That would be good today. And the sun would be good today, so I'm hoping you bring the sun in after our rain here.
I'll
work.
send you some sun.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, second question is, what is your favorite crystal that you're working with right now?
Oh, do I have to choose one?
Yeah, it's like picking your favorite child. We know.
It has to be selenite.
Oh, yay.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
had a lot of that lately. Selenite's been
Yeah.
popping up a lot from our guests. I love that.
I love selenite because it's got like the higher realms also with the angels that I work with. But when you look at it, how it just illuminates that, and that's how we are too. It's like it brings light through, and it's awesome for clearing other crystals and energy yourself, like your aura. You can use it like a wand, and yeah.
Thanks to our viewer Nancy. She told us about putting her glasses on selenite.
Oh,
She
yeah.
goes to bed at night, and so I actually bought a selenite plate, and I put my glasses on it every night to try to help me see more clearly.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We love you too, Nancy. Yeah. She said she loves me, but yeah, love you, Rhonda. I know. Yeah, she comes up with some great things.
She does. It's pretty
She's
cool.
our cat whisperer.
Yes. All right, third question. Third question today is, have you ever experienced extra-dimensional intelligence, meaning UFOs, or had experiences with visitations or anything like that?
Well, for someone who owns a crystal skull, yes, as a child, as an adult, when I was in the UK, I experienced a lot as well. But it was interesting because as we journey and open up more, and during a session one time, a meditation, I went in and Palladian guides, 3 guides came to me, and we said, well, we'll be working with you. And there's oftentimes they show me outside of the planet all the beautiful star light beings that are out there that are helping our world right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Love
Yeah.
that. That's great. Good answers.
I like
Tough questions.
Sometimes I wish they'd hurry up and come.
Because I love amethyst too. I'm wearing amethyst because the amethyst now too. Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
angel light on today.
Oh, I love angel light.
This is green angel light that I have on.
That's
as
awesome. Look at
How
that.
neat is that?
Little blue one. I
well.
wear that percent. Well, I'm also wearing moldavite and.
Oh, you're really
Customer
trying to
dollars.
fly off the charts.
Oh yeah,
there,
no,
aren't you?
I was thinking maybe that's part of the problem. Yeah, put myself.
You have to be in a real place to be able to do the moldavite thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's why it's in with my
Small
purple
doses
diamond.
for me. Small
Mhm.
doses. Maybe
And my-
meditation only right now.
Yeah. I couldn't sleep with it in my bedroom because
Oh,
it was
God,
too.
Oh, wow.
It was waking me up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's got a really strong energy. I find the same thing there with crystals I had to take out of my bedroom as well.
Yeah, but I have this one crystal that in my Akashic records when we had to open the crystal. Remember, one of the dogs was open or something like that. So it wants to sleep with me all the time. It wants to sleep in my room. So I bring it in. Yeah. When I opened my dog's records, he told me he wanted ham.
You
I love that.
I
Do you
want ham.
travel at nighttime?
Yeah.
How fun.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so I just have to announce the winner real quick of last week's
Okay.
Share It Out, who won Soul Spa Meditation, the amazing journey to Egypt. And that is Gina Palazzo. Congratulations, Gina. So
Oh,
you guys make sure you share it out, invite your friends, because you have a chance of winning an incredible meditation. And we will be making more once we get our shit together. It's gonna
Oh,
happen.
we have a date. We have to
We
do
have
it.
it. We have a date to start.
Yeah. We have a-
That's the point.
That's
But yes, it will
that's
happen.
what It's way going. So
I forgot that date, you guys.
that's okay. We'll get it to you.
I'll
Okay.
Got it
message it
written
to
down
you.
somewhere. Thank you so much, Kelly, for joining
Yes.
us. And I really look forward to having you again on. And I look forward to meeting you in person. Like, my doors are always open if you're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
the
yeah.
nation's capital. We're on the road. You ever feel like you wanted to go to Ottawa or somewhere down here?
Rhonda, what happens when
Yeah.
all the people you invite show up at once? Like, you just keep putting out these open invites, and you're just gonna have this
I
flood of
have
people.
One
hundreds
day.
of acres and people can camp anywhere they want on it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd
That's
be great.
awesome.
I live in God's country down here.
Down here. She says down here, and she's north of us. There's two of us.
Well,
down here.
I'm south of Kelly, kind of.
Right.
Kind of,
really.
yes. And when you think of Canada, we are kind of south compared to everywhere else that's north.
That's right. We're all concentrated around the border, like I don't know what.
Right.
They're all con-
We are.
yeah.
Well, it was such a pleasure being here. And yes, I would love to be on again. And it's so nice meeting your community. Thank you, everyone who has joined. And on the replay, I send you beautiful, immense blessings to all of you as we come up to the summer solstice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Very
that's
exciting.
next week. And
It
yeah,
is.
you have to join us next week because Katie Steinley, another part of our crew, who is our special correspondent, she's going to be bringing in her biotones and balancing and talking about the summer solstice and what we can expect astrologically from a human design point coming up.
She said it's going to be an intense year, so we know that there's some good stuff coming this summer.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely going to be an interesting episode. And for those of you who missed our intro earlier, we are dedicating today's episode to our beloved Cindy Aldrich, who passed recently. She's part of our Soul Family and Spirit Sessions tribe. And so all the love that we got to feel today, send it to Cindy and her loved ones, and send it to your loved ones, send it to everyone. We love you guys so much, and we're so happy to hang out with you every Sunday. You guys are why we're here. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Take care.
Namaste.